Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most shocking and flat-out expensive decisions in recent sports history. How a Super Bowl winning quarterback ended up getting paid a fortune just to go away. Okay, let's just start with the number. $85 million. That is the insane amount of dead money the Denver Broncos are paying Russell Wilson not to play for them. It's an NFL record, and it's basically a financial black hole on their books for the next 2 seasons. Now, here's where it gets really wild. Despite that staggering price tag, experts are actually calling this financial nightmare the team's best possible move. So how on earth can paying someone $85 million to leave be your best option? Well, it turns out it was a calculated and, incredibly painful choice to escape an even worse situation. That's the big question, right? It's a story about a spectacular rise, an even more stunning fall, and a clash between a coach and a player that just became completely unsustainable. So, to really get a grip on this collapse in Denver, we have to rewind. We've got to remember just how dominant Russell Wilson was back in Seattle. I mean, for 10 seasons with the Seahawks, Wilson wasn't just good, he was truly elite. A franchise icon, a 9-time Pro Bowler, and, the guy who brought the city its only Super Bowl trophy. He pretty much defined a whole decade of winning football up there. But then he gets traded to Denver in 2022, and the bottom just completely falls out. Just look at these numbers. His passer rating tanked. His touchdown numbers were basically cut in half. And the offense went from being one of the best to the absolute worst in the entire league. It was a complete and total collapse. So the Broncos are panicking. To try and salvage their massive investment, they make a huge move. They hire the offensive genius Sean Payton to come in and fix Russell Wilson. But instead of finding a solution, they ended up finding the real problem. And on the surface, it looked like it was working at first. The stats did get better. As you can see, his touchdown passes jumped from 16 all the way up to 26. His quarterback rating improved a lot too. But that was all kind of a mirage. Because here's the thing, the stats didn't tell the whole story. If you actually watch the games, it was still just clunky. It was like watching 2 gears grinding against each other that were never meant to fit. The system just did not fit the player. You see, you have to understand Sean Payton's offense. It is built for a very specific type of quarterback. He needs a guy who's like an extension of his own brain out on the field, someone who plays with timing, rhythm, and gets the ball out fast. And that was the core of the problem. Russell Wilson is not that guy. His entire career, his whole magic, was built on improvisation and extending plays when things break down, the exact opposite of what Payton's system demands. It was a square peg in a very, very round hole. So all those habits that made him a star in Seattle became, as Payton called them, devastating penchants in Denver. He held the ball way too long, took a crazy number of sacks, 45 of them, and relied on backyard football instead of just running the play. Payton couldn't coach it out of him, and that's what ultimately got him benched. So at this point, the relationship is toast. The on-field experiment is a total failure, and the Broncos are staring down a monumental and monumentally expensive decision. And remember, this was less than 2 years after they gave him this massive $245 million contract. And they did it before he'd even played a single down for them. They went all in, and now they were desperately looking for a way out. So they decided to just rip the Band-Aid off. The thinking was painful, but pretty simple. Let's just accept that this was a failure, take the historic financial hit right now, and get control of our future back. It was the only way to start fresh and find a quarterback who actually fits what Sean Payton wants to do. Okay, so getting rid of Wilson was just step 1. Now, Sean Payton had to go out and find his guy, the quarterback he could build his system around. So with the 12th pick in the draft, Payton picks Oregon quarterback Bo Nix. And let me tell you, the media draftniks went absolutely crazy. They called it a reach, said the Broncos could have gotten him way later. Pretty much nobody outside the building liked the pick. But Sean Payton? He could not have cared less. He basically laughed off all the criticism, saying that anyone who didn't understand the pick, well, they just didn't know what they were talking about. He is absolutely all in on Bo Nix. And this right here, this is the real genius behind the whole gamble. You swap that incredibly expensive veteran for a rookie on a cheap 5-year contract. If that rookie turns out to be good, you suddenly have millions and millions of extra dollars to build a great team around him. It's a luxury they never would have had with Wilson's contract. So, the expensive veteran is gone, the controversial rookie is in place, and this whole dramatic saga sets the stage for what might be one of the most hyped games of the entire season. Of course, Russell Wilson found a new home fast. He signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And here's the craziest part. Because the Broncos are paying him almost $38 million this year, the Steelers got him for just over $1 million. Denver is literally paying a fortune for their old quarterback to play for a rival. And you just can't make this up. It's like it was scripted in Hollywood. The NFL schedule makers gave us a blockbuster. Week 2 of the season, Russell Wilson and the Steelers are traveling to Denver for what is going to be the ultimate grudge match. So this is it. It's a high-stakes bet that's going to define legacies. Will Sean Payton's massive gamble pay off? Or will Russell Wilson get the ultimate revenge on the team that paid him $85 million just to leave? We are going to find out very, very soon.